I heard Seth earlier, and he was like, hump day.
Oh, Seth.
It is hump day. How's it going, Kyle?
I am so sore and so tired.
So, of course, the big show went down last night at Vina Robles Amphitheatre.
Yeah,
we've been talking about that a lot. Slayer, Lamb of God, Behemoth, all super solid on that stage last night.
It's incredible because, I mean, that really is like a once-in-a-lifetime type of show because all three of those bands are all headlining acts.
Right.
And so to see... I mean, Slayer, that wasn't my... I'll take your little quote from last night. That wasn't my first rodeo with Slayer.
Right.
So, and same with Lamb of God and Behemoth. And so to see all of them, especially Behemoth, opening up for bands like that, it was a really cool experience.
Yeah, and we were talking about how, you actually saw the same exact tour over the weekend. You went down south.
Yeah, I went to the Forum on Saturday for Slayer's hometown show. Sold out 20,000 people.
Wow.
Oh, my God.
Big difference. So that's kind of cool when you go to a place like Vina Robles.
Yeah.
And there's these acts that are like of this caliber.
Yeah. It was such... Anybody that was at that show yesterday, that was such an intimate show.
It was.
Like, I don't think any of those bands, especially Slayer, have done a show that small.
Yeah, that venue is 3,300 people.
Yeah.
You went from a 20,000 seat venue to 3,300 people.
I went to the size of the pit at the Forum was bigger than the max capacity at Vina Robles.
Totally. Yeah, it was a really good show. So I just wanted to kind of get your take on things because I know you are like I'm a fan. I like Slayer. I like Lamb of God.
Yeah.
I've never actually listened to Behemoth. They were cool. A little
awesome.
too satanic for my taste, but but entertaining. And
awesome.
It's a spectacle and it's awesome.
Yeah.
But I know you are like to the core a fan of all of these bands.
Yeah, especially for Lamb of God. I mean, hell, I got the lyrics to "A Muerta" tattooed on my arm.
Yeah.
so it was really cool seeing all of them again, and I can't recall a single time that I've seen any of those bands where they didn't bring it 100%.
Yeah, they were really good.
Regardless of the show sold out, regardless of the size now, apparently, whether it's a 3,000 person venue or a 20,000 person venue or 50,000 when I saw Slayer last year at Knotfest, they bring it 100% of the time. But
that's such a cool thing about having that venue right here in Paso Robles, and they're booking these bands that you can see with 20,000 other people, or you can
please keep doing this, Vina Robles.
Yeah, and not that it always has to be a metal show, but I mean, we have so many great acts coming through. You can see
it's phenomenal,
a whole array of different types of music, and it's always such an intimate thing. So just wanted to touch bases with you. I also somebody spotted me in a picture that Behemoth posted.
What?
And so I remember you telling me exactly where you were standing. I'm like, dude, Kyle has got to be in this picture. So I found you in it too.
Oh, snap. Oh, I gotta look at this now.
Yeah, so we have like a little kind of like Where's Waldo thing going on
that's awesome.
On our Facebook, 93.3 KZOZ on Facebook. I shared that picture, and I mean, it's just for fun, but can you spot Kyle and Suz? We are not standing together.
No, we are not.
And we are definitely not wearing red and white striped shirts.
I was going to say it's going to be a little hard. Just I'm wearing a black shirt.
Yeah. Well, here's a hint too. Kyle, really, you can only see his face, and like you're so stoked. You're like, yeah.
Yeah.
And you can kind of see like more of me, I guess.
Yeah. And my hair is down now that I'm looking at the photo. My hair is down in the photo. So
anyway, that's a little side game if you want to check that out. 93.3 KZOZ on Facebook. So we were talking behind the scenes a little bit, and I thought this would be good to talk about when we actually have microphones in front of our faces. But like the status of the pit at a metal show. And I mean, specifically last night, I'm talking to this guy, Adam, who works down the hall, right? And he will never have anything to do with the pit. That's just not his style, and that's fine, you know?
No, I get it. It's not everybody's cup of tea.
But he always wonders about it. Like, he's very curious about it because it's like this weird, like, forbidden thing that he'll never do. And I'm like... He always, when he thinks of Slayer or he thinks of like a metal show or even a rock show and there's a pit, he's like, instantly he's just like, oh, it's blood and death and meh, you know?
That's not it at all.
I know. And so I'm trying to explain that to him, and it kind of overflowed into like the common area, and you got involved a little bit. So it's like, for him, it's like everything is just brutal and violent, and people are punching and stabbing and murdering, you know? And it's not like that in a pit.
Not at all.
It's really like a friendly thing.
It really is. And I was talking to one of our mutual friends at the show last night, George. And me and him, we were just talking about just the entire atmosphere at a metal show and the entire culture of heavy metal and the community of heavy metal. It really is, and I'll fight anybody on this.
Well, that's not lending well to the we're friendly people thing.
In terms of like verbal, like the whole metal community really is one big family.
Yeah.
Because, okay, yes, there is shoving and pushing in a mosh pit. There's no punching. There's no kicking any of that. Yes, let's be real here. There is always that one person.
And that's the thing you hear about. When you hear about a pit being bloody and punching and murdering and, whatever, it's like the one or two bad people. It's not the whole...
No, it's not at all. It's seriously just one or two bad apples that just get out of hand. And a lot of the times that's what the phrase I'm looking for, like it's figured out very quickly.
Who's the douchebag?
Yeah, who are the problem makers, and then who are the people that are there to have a good time. You figure that out very quickly.
Yeah.
In the pit, and especially last night at Slayer, 9 out of 10 people were there to have a good time. Yeah, I ran into maybe one or two people that were like, okay, dude, you're being a little too aggressive.
Like, calm down. Like, everyone's just here to have a good time.
Yeah.
It's like even, Slayer stopped down during their set and Tom's like talking to the crowd and stuff. And he's talking about how, we're all there to love and to celebrate that love. And then he's, goes into saying how he's like, and I'm seeing some good love taps happening out there. But that's what it is, It
is.
And when someone goes into a pit that has an attitude that they're going to go in there and hurt someone, that's where it all breaks down.
It really is. But again, most of the time, 9 out of 10 times, 10 out of 10 times, except for one bad apple in the group, it really is friendly. It really is a giant family. We're all just there to have a good time.
So you mentioned that you grabbed someone like by the neck and like kind of had to wrangle them.
So back to this doesn't lend to us being a family and everything like that. There was one guy at the show last night during Slayer's set that he was being really aggressive. He was putting his elbows into my kidney to try and get up front.
Right, because you're not even like circle pitting at this time. You are like mushed up at the front trying to like rock it out and like watch the show. And
I'm 1-2 people behind the barricade.
Yeah,
I'm at this point. I'm trying to enjoy the show. I'm not in the actual circle pit or anything like that. And this guy's putting his elbows into my kidney, and I'm sorry, at specifically a Slayer show, I'm not going to look at you and go, excuse me, sir. You're putting your elbow into my kidney. Would you please be so kind to stop that? No, screw you, dude. I just grabbed him by the back of his neck as hard as I possibly could, and I yanked him away from me.
Yeah, but again, you're not punching. I'm
not punching.
You're just establishing your space.
He invaded my bubble, Suz.
Yeah,
that was my bubble.
Don't get into Kyle's bubble. That's not a good thing. But I did see. I mean, for me, I was not. I've been known to get up in there and fight for it.
I've been in the pit with you.
Yeah, but last night I was taking it kind of easy. I was down on the floor, but I was kind of on the fringe. I was like right at the cusp of the pit where I got like kind of knocked into a couple times, but I wasn't involved really.
Right. You're just on the outer circle.
Yeah, but as an avid concert goer, and I've been to a lot of rock and metal shows, like I'm always aware. I'm always got my side eye on what's going on in the pit when I'm not close.
And that's the other thing. You have to be aware. If there were some people that I were talking to, there were some people that we work with here at the station that were at the show last night, that they knew they were in the pit, but they weren't aware that they were in the actual vicinity of, this is essentially going to turn into a war zone in about 5 seconds.
Okay, can we talk about that then? Like knowing where if you have floor tickets and you don't want to be involved in this, and there's a certain area that you don't stand in. And I learned this the hard way when I was younger. I think I've told you this story before, but I was at Family Values show, like in the late 90s.
Okay, yeah.
And, it's like Limp Bizkit and Korn, and Primus was at this show. And so anyway, they've gone through a few acts, and I was kind of at the way back of the crowd. And then I lost my friends, but it's cool. We're going to meet up later. So I'm working my way, and I'm like, I'm just going to get as close as I can up to the front. And I find a spot that's like kind of like... open, and it's like too good to be true. And why is this happening?
Not a whole lot of people in this area.
Such a noob at that time that I didn't realize that I was literally standing where the pit would form and be like the center, like the eye of the storm.
Yeah.
And so when Primus started playing, I find myself like stuck in this pit.
Yeah.
people swirling and like flailing around me. And at that point, I was not the experienced Suz that was standing in the, pit at Slayer last night. And I just didn't know what to do. So I was just kind of standing there like, I don't know how to do this or get out of this or whatever. And as soon as I was like forming the thoughts like, oh shit, what have I done?
Yeah.
Some dude, just big, old, tall, burly dude, just his elbow comes right down on my face. Like he didn't see me. It was not on purpose.
Yeah.
But he was flailing around and I was in the wrong place.
Wrong place, wrong time in the pit.
Not being aware.
Yeah.
And bam. And I had a black eye for like a month after that. So I learned that. And now, I'm always aware. But that's another. So if we had like, I don't know, like rules of the pit or at least like a guide.
Rules of the pit.
With the metal, like it's like the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, right? Like the Metalhead's Guide to the pit. To the pit.
All right. Rule number 1: be aware of your surroundings.
That's first.
Yeah, that's first. That's just a rule in life in general.
I mean, for sure. But that's like no matter what, if you're standing on the fringe of the actual pit, if you're moshing, or if you're like up on the rail, like be aware.
Yeah. So that's rule number 1 for sure. Rule number 2 through however many we're going to go through can be in any specific order. Don't crowd kill, which is, getting too aggressive and punching and kicking people for no reason.
And putting your elbows in Kyle's kidneys.
Yes, because I will grab you by the back of your neck. If someone falls down, pick them up.
Yeah, that's another thing I saw last night a lot of was the camaraderie in the pit is as soon as someone goes down, everyone around them immediately helps them up.
Yeah.
And actually, I was watching the show with our friend Chris Toronto, they work with the Paso Wine Alliance, and they do Wine Fest and stuff. And he's out there with us, and we're on the fringe, and we're watching this happen, and we're commenting on like, oh, this is really cool. Everyone's like bros and helping each other out. And then we see this one guy, and he picks up a shoe.
Okay.
And he's like holding it up, like out to the crowd in the circle pit.
Oh, hey, someone lose a shoe?
Yeah, and he was just holding it up there for like a whole song or two. And then he finds a hat, and he's holding up this hat. And so then like we decided that he was like the lost and found for the pit.
Oh, that's beautiful.
But it was so cool. And we didn't see anyone claim them. And then, toward the end of the show, I see shoes flying.
Of course.
For some reason, I had the thought of like, this is what it sounds like when the shoes fly.
Okay.
It could be like a Weird Al metal.
Yeah. Something.
Cover. I don't know. Stupid. These are the thoughts I have when I'm watching shows. I don't know.
Nice.
But anyway, so pit. So be aware.
Be aware. Don't crowd kill. Don't be a dick and start hitting and kicking people for no reason.
And I think just remember that the person next to you is a person.
Yeah. And then just look out for your brothers and sisters in the pit.
Yeah.
I mean, for example, it did get really crazy towards the end of Slayer. Where, crowd surfers left and right. If you see a crowd surfer coming for you, dude, again, help a brother and sister out and let them know, like, hey, there's a foot about to come to your face in about 3 seconds if you don't duck or put your hand up.
Yeah. Yeah. A couple of my friends and Bo got kicked, like, not on purpose, but, a crowd surfer got kicked and he was kind of had a little bloody on his ear thing from it. So, but it can't be helped. It's not that person doing it on purpose. It just is the circumstance, and he didn't see and he didn't get a heads up. So, that's cool too to give people a heads up on crowd surfing. I've never even really thought about that, but that's totally true.
Oh yeah, and then one which I'm actually really stoked I didn't see this at all last night, and I know I've seen it at previous metal shows. Security's there to help you out. They're not there to.
They're not your enemy.
They're not your enemy.
No.
Security is your friend at a metal show.
Yeah.
Seriously, if you're dehydrating out of water, they will go out of your way. Like, okay, this person can't get out of the pit. The people are not letting them by. All right, I'm going to get them something to help them.
Or they'll pull you out.
You out. Like,
and
security,
if you need help, let them know.
Yes, security is your friend. Just because they had to be a little rough with you because you were crowd surfing and they needed to get you out of that pit area right between the stage and the fans. Like, they're not doing it to be mean. It's like, it's their job. They're there to help you, to keep you safe.
So there is one more thing that I would say, and it's from a female perspective, and I don't want to get on like a complete soapbox on this, but again, it's the one bad apple kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I've been to shows before where I'm in that pit and I'm squished and I've been groped and I've been handled in ways that I should not be handled.
Yeah.
So that's another thing.
Well, that's the other thing, and I'm actually kind of glad you did bring that point up because what was it, 2 years ago when Manson and Deftones and them?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. you were next to me in the pit, and I don't know if you remember it, but there was a girl that was like one or two people over to us that like she kept saying, like, quit grabbing my ass, quit grabbing my ass.
Yeah. No, we teamed up with her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And to like just, because it's bullshit.
Yeah, it is.
That stuff like that happens. It's absolute bullshit, and it shouldn't happen at all. And it's few and far between, but it does happen, so people should be aware. And if you see that happening, help a sister out. Help a sister out, and this is just from me personally, and I don't care who you are, what your age is, what your size is. I see you doing that, I'll kick the shit out of you.
Yeah, that's when it becomes not friendly.
Yeah, I'm not asking anything. I'm kicking the shit out of you.
Awesome.
I see you do that.
Kyle is a good pit buddy, a good concert buddy for sure.
I am a great pit buddy. I made a couple pit buddies at the show last night. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, well, and that'll just build and build as we have more rock shows and metal shows that come through Vina Robles. And it's a crowd that you're going to see, and you're going to see those same people, and we're going to all be in it together. It's going to be awesome.
Hell yeah.
All right. Well, that's our first. We're doing a little podcast.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it.
We can talk about rock and metal a little bit more here and there.
Hell yeah.
All right.
Let's do it.
Keep yourself posted on all things KZOZ here at kzoz.com, and stay tuned. Maybe this will become a regular thing.
Hell yeah. I'm down for that.
What did we remember when we were hosting Jeff and Jeremy in the Morning a few years back?
Oh, yeah.
And we had trouble deciding if it should be Suz and Kyle or Kyle and Suz. Yeah.
Well, this is your idea, so this one I'll full blown
win.
Yeah, I'll full blown just step down on that one.
All right, thanks, Kyle.
Yeah, thanks, Suz.